When I started on this chair a week ago, it was a mess. I didn't really want to strip it, but I did. And now today we're going to work through and see the progress from this old trashed chair turn into something amazing before your eyes. I hope you follow along as we look through the steps of refinishing this old chair. Join me as I share stories of my life as a kid, bringing junk home and turning it into something useful. Fact is, I'm still doing this today at age 69. Okay, the first step in the process of refinishing and trying to get this chair to look like something you would be proud of in your home is to uncover, and let's take the visqueen off. And I'm doing the little parts first so you can see what I'm looking at. See how that material is still really soft and wet on there, and that's the purpose of the visqueen. It keeps the stripper soft while it still does its job. It did dry up a little bit right here, as you can see, but that isn't going to be a problem. Let's get these uncovered. You can see that I have this, a few pieces here. And again, I want to emphasize that this product does not hurt your hands other than it dries it up a little bit. If you had gloves, that wouldn't hurt to put them on, but not necessary with this product. Now I just have a regular scraper here, and what I'm going to do is show you how easily that stuff comes off. Now that was caked on last week when you looked at that, and just look how easily that's scraping off. Just comes right off of there. And once you get all the excess off, all you need to do is get a little water and wash it down. We'll move over to the sink and I'll show you that process. Okay, hopefully you can see everything in here, and you can see I have the pieces here on the side. Now what I'm going to do is turn on my hot water, get this scratch pad just a little damp. Then what I'm going to do is put a little hand soap on this scratch pad, as I want to demonstrate to you just how easily this product comes off. And did I mention to you that it's environmentally safe? So using it around water and such doesn't really, that product just about jumped off of that wood. And the key to everything here then is let this wood dry out thoroughly before you even attempt to put a new finish or anything on it. Now we'll get these pieces all done here. Got my scratch pad with a little soap in it to help cut the soybeans. I used to eat soybeans right out of the field when I was a kid. I take that back. I still do it. I don't know. Never really thought they tasted that great, but they didn't taste bad. Look at that. Coming right out. 2 down. 1 to go. Try it without soap and the scratcher. Nope, soap and scratcher really makes a difference. That's just a little, the scratch pad, 3M scratch pad. So any hardware would have it. I know my Do It Best hardware does. And let's see, yep, that brought that right back. Let me tell you something. You can feel that wood. You can feel the texture in the wood. And you can tell just by feeling it like this if it still has product on it. And it does on the ends. I felt it. So let your fingers do what they're designed to do. Touch and eyes. See that? It's completely cleaned off now. Grab another one. This one here I need to get my scraper. I'll be right back. As you can see, it has a little buildup here, and I'm just going to see how this scraper does. Yep, it pulls it right off of there for the most part. Let me get my scratch pad now and see how that works. And something else to realize, that if for some reason you're not satisfied totally with the way the stripper has done for the first round, it's alright to put another coat on it and let it set an hour or so. Again, it won't take nearly as long. You know, it's been a week since I'm back on this project, but I'm telling you, if I would have had a couple hours or so last Wednesday, that would have been way ample enough time to do what I'm doing today. So there, now we're down to our last piece right here. Get some of this here going on it. Continue to wash and continue. Oh, that's got some pretty wood to it. Some pretty, look at that. See that? For an old piece of junk, that's just not that bad. Like I said, this chair isn't really worth fixing, but if I'm not about anything else, I'm about bringing life back to stuff that people have actually discarded, and not just with object things, but I've been friends to a lot of people that were considered outcasts in society, and I still am. I don't know why that is. Maybe it was my upbringing and some of the stuff that I had to go through as a kid, and the heritage or the background that I came from. And from some it wasn't very desirable. But that's past right there. Look at that. Now we're going to let those dry. I felt just a little bit there when I was just about ready to let it up. And I'm going to get, and see what I'm taking off there is the old glue. And that's another thing you want to make sure that you get stripped off really well. Because when you put your new glue in, you want that glue to go into the pores of the wood so it does what it's supposed to do. That's why I rub on this a little bit, and that stripper, believe it or not, will take that off also. So this is done. I'll catch you on the next pieces. Okay, I got the base or the butt part of the seat or chair, but I brought this plastic over and I wanted to show you that. See how yellow and goldish colored that is? That's not the product. The product's a lot clearer than that. What that is the old finish that came off the seat of this chair. So let's get at it, let's get this seat clean. First thing I'm going to do is put a little bit more soap on my scrubber. And let's try some of this Dawn. I haven't used that ever before. Let's see how that works. I'm just curious. Not much here, but let's try it. If I need more, we'll get it. Well, I'm not afraid to try anything. Get the job done, but let me get that a little damp and then just wipe this down. Oh yeah, that's cutting it, bringing it right back. And I don't know how well you can see, but I'm just going to show you here. That just takes that stripper right off of there. Now if you was using something that was not water soluble, you would have a heck of a mess cleaning this stuff up. And that's where I go to what I do. So let me get this finished for you. Okay, now you can see that I've got all that stripper off of there, and you can see all those stains and nicks and this water stain here, all of that. Now if I want to make that really pop, all I'd have to do is let this dry out, take my little pad sander and hit a little bit, which I may do, I don't know yet. I don't have a plan, you know that. Well, I guess I do have a plan. My plan is I don't have a plan. But the glue was really saturated in here. But what I'm going to do is for sure hit this a little bit with the sandpaper to get those pores exposed. Now I know there's some of you out there to look at me like I'm crazy, but this is the way I do it. If it's wrong, I guess it's wrong. I probably should sand all this out, fix these cracks. Nah, it's perfect. A little bit of touch up with the glue in these holes, right here, right here, and right here, and let that dry. And we'll see if we want to sand some of those water stains out. But there again, that's actually part of the character of the chair. I probably should sand them out. Probably not. Wow, blue paint just jumps off of there. Let's get that thing cleaned. Looks a little different, doesn't it? Let me get set up now, and we'll go back and we'll continue with our non-plan and see how the thing's going to fit together. Even though it's wet, we can dry fit it. Okay, I've made a decision on what I'm going to do with these woods. I've had it drying with this heater over it several hours. For the most part, it's turned out well, but I am going to hit everything with my pad sander just to freshen the wood up a bit. It shouldn't take too long because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. So a piece like this, you can see how that's freshened that up, and that's the way I'm going to leave it. Let me get the rest of these done. There's been a lot of rook games played off of this old seat. A lot of fun. It's not so fun bringing it back to life, because doing that's hard work. Not only for this chair, but for people also. But they're worth it. Now we do a little bit by hand. It's not going to take much more. Just wanting to get a little bit of this darkness off of it and get the pores opened up on the wood. You know what? That doesn't look half bad. Yeah, half bad's better than chair. So let's get started. Let's knock this back apart. Should be fairly easy. It's just setting here components. I probably should sand that a little bit more. Perfect. We'll leave it. There we go. There we go. I'm going to be using a provincial stain. It's a little bit darker than what this maple is. By the way, if I haven't shared with you the type of wood this chair's made out of, it's maple. Maple is a pretty hard wood used for gym floors, different places like that, wooden floors, furniture. It's just a hard wood. It's got a nice grain to it for the most part. Okay, there we go, we're ready. Yeah, I have my brothers and sisters coming over to our house tonight. I'm looking forward to that. We don't get together like we should. And their spouses, by the way. And one of our sisters passed away about a year ago. And another one can't be with us. He's incarcerated. And we're getting older, so we're going to get together and enjoy each other's company and reminisce about old times, I suppose, laugh and carry on. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'll show you how I do my staining. I'm sure there are other people who do it differently than me, but that's all right. This is just the way that I do it. And I don't know. It's the way I taught myself to do it. And just stir a little bit more here. Ha ha ha! See, got it on my finger or thumb already. Okay, it should end up a little bit like that, but let's see what this wood's gonna do. What I do is I get me a shop rag, something like this. I have a halfway decent clean one here. And once you use these rags for stain, they're pretty much shot. Or what I mean is, they don't got anything left. But let's take this, and I just wipe it on there like that. You can see how I'm doing it. I just put it on heavy. And I get every spot covered. It's like that. Now that looks pretty blotchy, but what I do then is I take another shop rag, like that, and all I do is wipe it down. Look at that. Not bad for an old junk chair, is it? And it camouflages, the darker stain camouflages the water stains in some of the wood. So there you have it. That's what it's going to end up being. And It's not perfect by any means, but it's gonna look just fine. We'll set that over to the side here. Let me wipe this dust off. There we go. Right there. And let that set. And I'll do one more piece. Show you the process. See how I'm wiping that on? It's just wipe it on. Anymore, they even have, like this is penetrating stain, and what replaces it is a couple of different ones. It's called wiping stain or fast drying stain. But yeah, I'm sure there are people that would look at me and bite their lips or tongues because they want to say something. But like I said, this is the way that I've always done it. I've always done it, and it works fine. Look at that. What's wrong with that? Okay, let me get these other pieces done and I'll be right back. Okay, I have all the components stained. Now with this penetrating stain, the idea of it is if you leave it set on there longer, it's supposed to penetrate into the pores of the wood, and I believe you can control how dark you want it. It's not much of a control because maple's very tight in the pores to begin with. But as you can see, I've got these components done. Got all these back, and I'm going to get set up now, and we're going to get ready to glue this and assemble it back together. Would it be easier to put the finish on like this? Yes, it would be. And maybe that's the way I should do it, but I'm not going to. I want to get the glue on and then put the finish on. That's kind of in reverse, because the glue sometimes will keep the finish from doing what it's supposed to do. But I want to glue it together first. That's the way I want to do it. I'm not sure that's the way you would do it. But I'll get set up with this glue and be right back. Okay, I have all my pieces here. I have my glue. I'm going to be using Type Bond, just original wood glue. And let's see, how does this go together now? The two shorter pieces will go up on top. The two longer ones will go on the bottom. And let's get them glued up. What I'm going to do is just put a little glue on the peg, take my hand, and just maneuver it around. And then what I like to do is get glue on both surfaces, so we're going to work a little bit of that glue inside there, having a rag handy, to wipe it up. So we'll put just a little bit, and which ones do I have here now? Oh, those are the tops, so we're doing the bottoms. So put a little glue on each of these. We'll put them in first. Let's do one side at a time. Doesn't really take a whole lot for this glue to set up. Put a little glue here, a little glue there, and wipe the glue off your fingers, and let's put these in. It should go in a little easier with the glue serving as a anchor. That's nice and tight. Take your rag, wipe the residual glue off. Don't know if that's right or not. We'll turn it 1/2 round. I don't think that makes a difference, but what that does do is coats the inside of that really well with the glue. I'm going to put a little bit more on here. I don't like the way that looks. Put Put it on, put it in. Now that one goes in easier. You don't even have to. And we'll just spin it around. Get her where we need it. Take the rag, wipe the excess off. Then we'll do the next one. We'll put a little glue in each of these holes first. Doesn't really take a lot of glue to put these together. And a mistake some people will make is they think they need so much glue, and that glue doesn't work that way. It never has for me. It's nice and tight. Do that. Take this one out. Put this like this. Just a little dab on there. And spin it around. And put just a little bit more in there. Right there. Right at the top, so that when I shove this in, and then I turn it, it spreads that glue throughout everything. And then wipe it up. Okay, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put this base together. We'll set this out of, I'll put the front together, that's what I'm trying to say. I'll put this like this. And I did mark this, remember? So I didn't get it put together, and that, I know, there's a red mark there, but you'll never see it unless you're looking for it, and there's a red mark there. So I know that that goes right in there. Remember? Yeah, thought you would. Okay, we'll do the same here. I'm going to put a little glue the side here. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit on both sides. Since I can't spin this, I'm going to take my trusty glue spreader and spread that around in there. Should always have a glue spreader. Okay, there we go. We'll put a little bit here and a little bit here. And we'll wipe that. Wipe that. There we go. We'll shove that right down there and that. Oh! Backwards. I almost put it together wrong. You know why? What made me realize I was putting that together wrong? I bet you can't guess. Well, who told you? Oh, I did. I got that red mark on there, and I didn't see it. So that's, well, what? I guess I put it together wrong. So let's put this on. We'll do this next. A little glue in here again. Like I said, I put a little on this side here, and I put a little bit on the other side, and I get my glue spreader. Everybody needs a glue spreader, and we'll spread that around in there. If that was spread any better, let me get this off of there. I wouldn't know how to act. Okay, that's ready to go. Oh, we'll put a little bit right here too. And probably have to spread that around because I can't turn this after it's back on, and I want glue on all the surfaces. There we go. Perfect. Probably should put a little more on there. No, that's good enough. Perfect. Let's get some here, and yeah, there we go. Let's wipe that and wipe that. Oops. There we go. There we go. Wipe the glue off my gloves, off the face of that, and let's put this together. I don't think I can do that wrong. Oh, I thought that many times, and now did I learn different. Okay, let's go. There we go. Take a look at it. Oh, 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 don't like that. Come on. That wants to spread on me right there. What am I gonna do? I got an idea. First of all, put just a little bit more glue in there. Get my spreader out. Perfect. Perfect. I'll be there. Give me a minute. Okay, this takes a specialized tool. Just a simple strap. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it will, but let's see. How do I want to do this? We want this here, and want this to hook, and I see. All I want to do is clamp this together. This will work. Maybe. Probably not. But we'll see. It might. Let's get her tight. You're not going to believe this. I didn't. But I had to because I'm looking right at it. Tighten that right up. All I got to do is make sure this is flush here at the top. Same there, it is. Take my rag, wipe some of that excess goobly goff off of there. I don't want that to interfere with my finish. Yeah, it probably will though. There we go. There we go. And we'll let that. Now I don't have to let anything. I can actually put that together. Got it over my hole here. Let me get that off of there a little bit. There we go. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll pound it down like this. And like this. Plenty of room now. We got her. Okay, the next step now is to get glue in each of these holes. This is the fun part, by the way, guys. Glue in each of these holes. Like that. And then glue on each of these things right there without getting it all over everything. You know what I'm saying? That wood has really dried out since I washed all that stain off of it. But it's been a little while, not that long, but a little while. Let's get this, let's just put it together and I'll wipe it up. Let me get this on. Let me scoot this over here so you can see what I'm doing. And maybe I can see better too. We'll start there. We'll do that. We'll put this, let's see, right there, and right there, and right there. Let's tap that down. Oh, oh, oh! Said hold up here. Put it on its side, make sure I'm nice and tight. Let's turn this just a little. There we go. Perfect. What I'm doing is trying to square it up. Good there, good there, good there. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. Wipe this off. Get some of that excess glue off of there. Yeah. Oh, really got a bunch over here. Yeah, when this dries and everything's put together, in theory, it should be pretty tight. Let's see now. We got to make sure it's, we can adjust the wobble out of it with the length of the legs. We may change some of that. Okay, this is the next step. This goes in here and then gets bolted fast and screwed under here. It's going in. It's fighting me the whole way though, guys. I wonder if I bump that over just a hair. Yeah, that would work. Center that up a little bit better. Okay, there we go. We may have to take a little sandpaper around the edges. Make sure the front looks good. You can see what I have. Now I need to run screws up through this. So let me get that set up and done. If I can get to it. You know, this clamp's in my way. Where are my screws? Right here. Which holes was they in? I don't remember. Let me try this hole right here, maybe. Nope, was into this hole right there is where they were. Ask me how I know. There's holes in the... Ah, there's my... This is my bigger glue spreader. Some people call it a flat blade screwdriver, but if that's all I use those for, you know, you can use them for pry bars too. So some people call them pry bars. It's working. Now, I'll get the other side in and I'll get right back with you. It's the next day and I'm back in my shop, and let's get this chair ready for finish. As you can see, take all this apparatus off and lay it to the side and show you the chair. Turned out pretty good. It feels good. It has a little layer of dust over it. I'm going to get me a tack rag and wipe it down. I'll get back with you when that's done. I'm going to show you what I have in a tack rag. Just something I pick up. If you don't know what a tack rag is, it's just a, let me open this. It's just a rag that's got some kind of film on it. I'm not even sure what. But you can wipe it over your products and it picks up any dust and residue. So you can see this is doing is we're going to wipe it down a little bit. You'll use this also in between coats of your finish if you do any sanding or steel wool in between the coats of your finished product. So we're not going to get carried away with it now, but we're going to do a little bit. Inevitably, when you're putting finish on furniture, you're going to get a little particle here and there in it, and you have to take care of it. Now what I'm using today on this is something I've never used before. It's polyacrylic. It's a spray-on water-based acrylic finish, and I'm using clear semi-gloss. Come on, Cap. Okay, let's see how this is going to work. I've never used this before, so bear with me. We'll try it right here first. Shake it up good. See if it sprays. I don't know, guys. I've never used this before. It seems different. Huh. I don't know. Okay, my first reaction to spray-on varnish is I don't see how that is something I would like to use, but we'll see how it works. I'll give it a chance. So I have one coat on this here chair, and I use a brush to kind of level out the spots where I didn't do such a good job, and we'll just see how that works. But now I just need to let this dry for a couple hours and we'll give it another coat. So I'll get back with you when we get ready for the second coat. Okay, I'm ready to put the finished coat on this, so let's get her done. Well, that empties this can. Let's let this dry and I'll get back with you and show you the finished product. As you can see, got a nice shiny surface on here for the spray that I used. It's called polyacrylic. I was skeptical, but I guess I have to say that worked pretty good on this chair. We're gonna call this project complete. I appreciate you watching. If this has been interesting to you or anything that I show on this channel, follow me. Until the next time.